44 years as the voice of the Detroit Pistons. Of course, you called all of those great Pistons games and Pistons teams. I'm sure you've been watching The Last Dance as well. We've had the Pistons at the forefront of that with their battles against the Chicago Bulls. What has been your emotions watching and reflecting back on those battles with the Bulls?
Well, it's been fun. And, if you're from Detroit and you're from the state of Michigan, you realize how many times the Bulls had to play the Pistons in the postseason to finally beat them. And the only time when you look at the Last Dance so far, the only times that Michael Jordan wasn't able to do exactly what he wanted to do around the rim basically was against the Detroit Pistons. He had some problems against the Knicks later on, and the Knicks, by the way, have my man Dick Harder as Pat Riley's assistant. He had been Chuck Daly's assistant in Detroit. So New York was trying to be physical with Michael and did a pretty nice job, but not the kind of a job that the Bad Boys did.
Do you feel like Isiah was unfairly treated when he was frozen out of the Dream Team?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was an awkward time for everybody. It is what it is. By the way, don't get me wrong, John Stockton's a heck of a player, and we all know that. And he probably, because he played his entire career with the Utah Jazz, doesn't get as much respect as maybe he should. But when you compare the two, absolutely, Isiah should have been on that team.
So what do you make of how they've packaged this, that it wasn't just Michael that disliked Isiah, it was Larry, it was Magic, it was Pippen? Do you think that was a fair assessment of why Isiah was left off?
That's for those guys. They can look themselves in the mirror and decide for themselves. I have a hard time understanding why you wouldn't put the best team together to go over there. They had a great team as it was, no question, but it was sad for me to watch it without Isiah.